To share this special announcement with all of us, I'd like to warmly invite our respected Shiva sirs onto the stage. Shiva sir, the stage is yours.
Yeah, hi guys. I think there is some disruption in the power, but this 1 minute actually made me think for a couple of things which I've personally gone through. See, way back 20 years back, I used to travel from financial districts to Tellapur. Those days, I used to drive a two-wheeler Passion, and I used to travel all the way from financial district to Tellapur. At that time, there was no vehicles. Actually, there was hardly any vehicle or two-wheeler which we were seeing. And all this area, what we are seeing here, is a green landscape. It's agricultural lands. In fact, from Gopalpalli to Tellapur, there was a very narrow road. It is like 10 feet road. So it was very difficult to travel. I used to come from there till Alien Space Station. That was the only project which was there in this location, which is talking about high-rise. So when these things were happening, even I was not sure how much the development would be. Because those days, we had an acre of 25 to 30 lakhs. That was a max. And come 20 years now, recent auction which has happened from government in Osman Nagar, the land went for 50 crores an acre. See the transition which has happened for this area. From 25, 30 lakhs, it went all the way up to 50 crores. And all those customers who have invested in this area have made huge money. They have made multi-fold appreciation. And the reason for them to do this is somewhere we have played a critical role in that. At that time, we never had this digital leads, digital online information and all. People used to call the consultants, people used to talk to the advisors, and that's how they used to know about the projects we developed. So that's how they all made money out of all those customers who made huge appreciations. May not remember 99% of the people who actually helped them out. But we played a critical role in ensuring that they get a proper advice, proper investment in Hyderabad register, that could be this particular location. I think work in the customer or promoter, we have do the applause for ourselves. I think we should have a clap for ourselves, yeah. It's an excellent job. Lot of transition which has happened, real estate is moving from a traditional business to more organized, more corporate. So it is time for us also to upskill ourselves and see how do we beat the system. Because at the end of the day, an advice which comes from a channel partner or a real estate consultant is having far more impact, and the overall advice which he gives will help the customer really make a good decision. I think that kind of realizations will come into the market, but we also should be ready. We should become so knowledge oriented and get our information about the industry to the point that we will be able to show them the difference. So my idea was today just not talk about the real estate or just talk about our project Gamya. I made a small presentation for you guys. I felt it is very useful if someone goes to this, and I'm sure there would be some insights, some thought for us to see how we can make a difference as a consultant to the customer as well as to the industries. Now, I titled this as The Unstoppable Rise of Hyderabad Real Estate because we have seen a lot of ups and downs. In my personal career of more than 20 years, I've seen a lot of challenges which has come in, a lot of changes which has happened. Now, the first challenge which I personally saw is in 2008, that is subprime prices. During those days, there was a lot of FDs before going in, a lot of foreign direct investment used to happen in real estate. But in 2008, suddenly all these big companies who invested in India, specifically talking about Hyderabad, they have invested in companies like Aparna, Bharat Iconia, Lehman Brothers and Tiger. If someone knows or someone who is there in the industry those times, would have seen that they have suddenly pulled out the entire money. And there was a huge crisis. People were worried whether real estate would be able to adjust to that kind of impact. But once that is done, we have seen a huge upside in terms of the growth, which we see after 2008. Then again, after that, we had one more challenge, 2014, state bifurcation. Many this particular issue was happening here. People have ruled out in the Hyderabad. They were saying that nothing will happen for Hyderabad after this. There's no future for that because investments would either go to Andhra or to any other city, not for Hyderabad. But once that is done, once the state was formed, we had a huge bull run. We saw the amazing investments that were flowing into Telangana and especially for Hyderabad. Then, of course, we had COVID 2020. I'm sure there are a lot of people here could have lost some near and dear or close to this particular crisis. In fact, I also lost my father for COVID. But once the COVID is done, we started realizing the importance of investing and creating a long-term asset. So that made people start investing from 2020. They went on. Now the big thing everyone is talking about is the myth. I call it a myth because people feel that AI is going to kill the job market because IT is the main backbone for our real estate, especially talking about Hyderabad and Bangalore. People feel that there are a lot of layoffs which is going to happen and that is going to change or disrupt the way how we look at real estate. But I have some information which I feel is good. We should look at it and try to observe and see what is the change really happening on the ground rather than going with an opinion. Now, if you see the reality check for Hyderabad specifically, there are a lot of GCCs which are coming in. They're setting up their businesses really far and that too in Hyderabad. And these companies are not just investing, they're expanding their office space. One classic example I would like to tell you is this has happened just last month. Now, the Aparna Technopolis, this is located in Kondapur, which is an IT office space where there are two big deals which is being signed. One is for 1 million square feet, which is signed up by Accenture, and the other is for 4 lakh square feet, which is done by Tech Mahindra. Now, cumulatively, this particular transaction is for 1,300 crores. This is spread over in next 10 years. That's the lease amount that they are going to pay to the operator or the developer. This is one classic example to say that IT companies are not laying off, they are expanding. There is a lot of office space which is being getting absorbed specifically in Hyderabad. But when we look at even the small and medium companies, last 3 months there is a total absorption of 3 million square feet of office space which is being absorbed. And majorly, if you see GCCs, BFSIs, core tech, 80% of these office space which is being absorbed is from the IT sector. So it is not that gloomy what we are hearing from the market. We need to go from the fact-based information. Why am I talking about commercial when we are supposed to talk residential? I would like to show something which happens all across the world. See, whenever we see this kind of long-term leases happening, this is spread over for 10 to 15 years. That means the companies are going to have office run from that location. So naturally, they will be pulling the talent from all across India to this particular area. So this would actually trigger the demand for residential. So I made an action plan here for the channel partner what they should look at. You need to have it's like, please get it ready. If you're working for very specific micro markets, you should have the complete information about that area. Not just about the projects, even for the developments which are going to happen in that area. Target the micro markets. Now today, Hyderabad market has become so big, you will not be able to do all across. Someone says they're doing this, someone says Patacharu, someone says, Bajpali. It is not possible. Focus on micro markets, especially areas where a lot of large IT companies are coming up. A radius of 30 kilometers, the Hyderabad is what you should focus because that is what people would be interested to reduce their commute time. So this is the area which I feel should be your next focus area. Tillapur is where you can change. And when you have so many leads, there would be leads which you have generated over the last 0.2 years. These customers you have said they are not interested, we kept it in a cold storage. But I think this is the time we bring them back, share this kind of information to them. You never know when they will come back and say, yes, I want you to suggest me a property. So keep those leads, track it properly, share the information. That would help you with conversion.
So the opportunities ahead, what I look at, every office, every new infrastructure that is going to come up will create more demand for homes. And believe me, families will continue to buy home for security, aspiration, or for better lifestyle. As a channel partner, we are not just selling properties. We are helping people make one of the most important financial decisions of their life. Believe it strongly, that is the actual fact. We are the people who are guiding them to take the important decision in their whole life, that is their real estate. And to end this thing, I would like to quote one particular thing for all the channel partners, including me. The best time to build your career in real estate was yesterday, and the next best time is today. So believe in it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.